Look at any calendar, and you will find the days neatly bundled into sevens, a week. We barely notice it, but of all the ways we measure time, the week is the strange one. A day is the Earth turning around once, a month follows the moon, a year is one long journey around the sun. Each of those you can actually see in the sky. But 7 days? Nothing up there ticks once every 7. So where did this number come from, and why does almost the whole world agree on it? A day, a month, a year, these were gifts handed to us by the sky itself. We did not invent them, we simply noticed them and learned to count along. The week is different. The week is the one unit of time that we made entirely for ourselves. It answers to no star, no planet, no season, and yet today, billions of people in every country on Earth count their days at exactly the same sevens. And 7 is an awkward little number. It does not divide a year evenly. 365 days always leave a stray day left over. It does not slot neatly into a month either. If you are designing time from scratch, you might choose 5 or 10, something round and tidy. 7 feels almost stubborn. So to understand where it came from, we have to look up at the very same sky the first skywatchers saw. Thousands of years ago, in the land between two great rivers we now call Iraq, the people of Babylon watched the heavens with enormous care. Most of the lights overhead stayed in fixed patterns night after night, year after year, but 7 of them wandered, the sun and the moon, and 5 bright points that drifted slowly against the background stars. In fact, our very word planet simply means wanderer, 7 wanderers, and no more that any human eye could see. The moon offered another 7. Watch it night by night, and it swells from nothing to a full bright circle, then quietly shrinks away again over roughly 29 days. Cut that journey into its 4 natural pieces, new, half, full, half, and each piece lasts about 7 days, not exactly 7, a little bit more, but close enough that the Babylonians marked every 7th day of the month as something a little bit special. So here we have 2 gentle hints of 7 wandering lights, and the moon's 4 quarters. It is tempting to say, well, there it is. The Babylonians simply built the week out of the sky, but honest historians are more careful than that. Which truly came first, the 7 lights, or an older 7-day count that people just matched to the lights, is genuinely hard to untangle. It is the leading idea, a good one, but it is not a proven fact. What we can follow far more clearly is a second thread woven by the ancient Israelites, their sacred story told of a world made in 6 days with rest on the 7th. And so they kept the Sabbath, work for 6 days, then set the 7th gently aside every single week, on, forever. This was something genuinely new under the sun, a day of rest that returned with perfect regularity, a quiet gift built right into the shape of time. Because notice what the Sabbath quietly does. It does not wait for the moon. It does not pause for the seasons. It simply counts 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 7, and then begins again over and over, no matter what the sky is doing overhead. A steady drumbeat of days that never resets, and for thousands of years, hand to hand, that count has been kept completely unbroken. Now bring in the Romans, who would carry so many ideas out across the world. And here is a small surprise. Rome did not start with a 7-day week at all. For centuries, Roman life ran on an 8-day rhythm built around market days, when farmers came into town to buy and sell. Every 8th day was a kind of bustling, cheerful weekend, long before anyone had a word for that. 8 days, not 7. But as the Roman world grew, a new fashion drifted in, astrology, and with it a week of 7 days, each one named for a wandering light. A day for the sun, a day for the moon, and a day for each of the 5 planets. Where exactly this planet week was born is still debated. It was long assumed to come straight from Babylon, but some historians now argue it actually took shape later, right there in Roman Italy. And the order of those days hides a small puzzle of its own. Ancient astrologers imagined every hour of the day ruled by a different planet, cycling through all 7 in a fixed sequence. Whichever planet happened to rule the first hour gave its name to the whole day. Run the hours all the way around, and the days fall into the very order we still use today, an order that comes not from the sky's brightness, but from this old patient counting game. So now two separate sevens were drifting through the very same world, the Jewish Sabbath count, steady and sacred, and the Roman planet days, elegant and astrological. Slowly across the wide Roman Empire, these two rhythms met, lined up and quietly became a single 7-day week. Nobody really planned this merger. It simply happened the way two rivers flowing side by side will eventually join into one. The final push came from sheer power. In the year 321, the Roman Emperor Constantine made it law. The day of the sun would be a day of rest across the entire empire. With a single decree, the 7-day week became official for millions of people all at once. He did not even have to invent the week. He only had to bless the one that people were already quietly keeping. From there, it traveled with belief. As Christianity spread out across Europe and far beyond, it carried the 7-day week along with it, like a seed tucked safely inside a fruit. Monasteries, churches, and calendars all kept the very same count, week after week, until at last it felt less like a choice anyone had made and more like simply the natural shape of time itself. And you can still hear all of this hiding inside the names of the days. Saturday belongs to Saturn, Sunday to the sun, Monday to the moon. The days in between once honored Roman gods, but up in the north people quietly swapped in their own gods instead. Tiau, Woden, Thor, and Frigg, whose old names still sit, mostly unnoticed, inside Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Carried by trade, by empire, and by religion, the 7-day week kept on spreading until it reached nearly every corner of the planet. Today, a child in Tokyo, a farmer in Peru, and a sailor in Norway all wake up on the same Monday. Whatever else may divide us, we very nearly all agree on one quiet thing: what day of the week it is. And yet, people have tried to break it. During the French Revolution, reformers decided that 7 was old-fashioned and unscientific. So they built a tidy new calendar of 10-day weeks instead. But 10 days meant only one single day of rest in every 10, rather than 1 in 7. People grew exhausted and unhappy, and within a few short years the familiar 7-day week quietly slipped back into place. More than a century later, the Soviet Union tried again, first with a short 5-day week, and then a 6-day one, designed to keep the factories running without ever pausing. But it scattered families onto different days off, so friends and loved ones were almost never free at the very same time. By 1940, that experiment was abandoned too, and the 7 days gently came back. So why does it always come back? Partly because the count has simply never stopped. For something like 2,000 years, that unbroken chain of sevens has run on, hand to hand, never skipping, never resetting. To change it now, the entire world would have to agree to lose its place at the exact same moment. And partly because the 7th day, the day of rest, gave the week a warm human heartbeat that nobody wanted to give up. So the week turns out to be a beautifully human thing. It is not written in the stars, not really. It is a quiet promise that we keep making to one another, that after 6 days of work, a day of rest will come, and that tomorrow, no matter where you are, everyone will agree on its name. It is not perfect. It does not match the moon or the sun or anything at all you can point to overhead. It is simply ours, the one single piece of the whole calendar that human beings invented, kept alive and chose, again and again, to keep. And maybe that is the quiet wonder of it, that something so ordinary, so utterly taken for granted, was never really handed to us at all. So look once more at your calendar, at those quiet little rows of 7. There is nothing in the sky that tips once every 7 days. No planet, no moon, no star demands it. And yet all across the world, billions of us keep counting along together in the same unbroken rhythm, a week that began in wonder at the night sky, and has been kept ever since gently, simply because we all agreed to keep it.